All right. So sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties. So I mean, you kind of heard what was happening. Basically miss wrong chord, and so that Zoom meeting kicked me out. So we're gonna start back up for where we were before. Call this part two. And all right. So where were we? Oh, my number. So we talked about Curry, all that jazz. Number two,
Yes.
Rajon Rondo.
All right.
Uh,
Please explain.
what I could say, what basically Chris Paul, but as a Celtic.
Sure.
So, I mean, of course, this is when I became a Celtics fan. He's my favorite. I think him and Garnett are like my two favorites out of that group. I mean, Garnett is just, I mean, it's the same way you can talk about Draymond, you can talk about Garnett. Like this, just when you play with so much emotion, it's awesome. But what's it? Yeah. What was I? Oh, Rondo. Yeah. It's unbelievable. Like the amount of basketball IQ he has and what he plays with. Like he makes every team just better. Of course, the middle years with Dallas, there's some rockiness with that, but it is what it is. But I mean, there's a reason. Like playoff Rondo is the thing, and it's just amazing when you're a Celtics fan to see that like work for your team. It sucks when it's with the Lakers. It is what it is, but I mean, to his credit, like the Lakers did so like because of him, like he became like the third best player,
Yes.
and he's making the Clippers work. Like he's just a culture changer. Same way that Chris Paul is. It's just I got to see it firsthand, or I got to experience this as a Celtics fan and appreciate it. And the amount of assists he can rack up every night, it's like, well, some nights is ridiculous. Like he had I think he had like 20 plus assists with the Pelicans against the Warriors. Like it's some of the things he'll do like to help his team out and like to put them in a great situation is just awesome. It's just awesome to watch, and I just like it. I mean, I like that dog mentality that he has. It's awesome. Yeah.
That's fair. It's very
And
fair.
the year I would pick is that 09-010 year when we lost in game 7. We lost in 7 games at finals. Objectively, a great finals, but
That was a great finals. Yeah.
But
yeah.
It stings a little bit. But Rondo played his ass off. I think that's what I would choose.
Sure. Okay. All right. My number 2. Okay, I'll say the name first. My number 2 is Nikola Jokic. Now that sounds like very much a bandwagon. This year he's been doing good, stuff like that.
All right.
Well, let me explain. So
yeah, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Explain.
I've been playing fantasy for a number of years. Basketball I've been playing I think since 5-6 years ago. So I played basketball for a good amount of time now. Jokic was one of the players that, when he first came into the league, like back then he was a second-round pick. Denver had that problem with Jusuf Nurkic and Jokic on the same team and had to move one. I think they chose right in terms of moving Nurkic to Portland. Jokic was someone that, fantasy-wise, at the end of the seasons, I just remember him going off, and it was just crazy. And it was like, it's someone that I want to, target, and that's someone that I want to have on my team. I've never had Jokic until 2 seasons ago, and then this season in my other league, I had Jokic again. So basically, I am like in a fantasy league, I am the guy that picks Jokic because I like him so much. And obviously this season has just been something that's unexpected, but just amazing. You could say I expect nothing less, but again, it was just like out of expectations, impossible, like amazing of how good of a season he had. Possibly one of the best fantasy seasons you've ever seen, like period. I think it ranks up there with like Steph Curry's 2016 season, with I think like a LeBron 2012 season, something like that. It's just historic, but it's been great. Jokic, I looked at his background. It's really funny. That's another reason why I liked it is because, guy grew up in Serbia, didn't like play basketball until he was like a little bit older in his teens. One of his favorite things he did like to do as a kid was doing horse chariot racing. So he still does that. Goes back to Serbia to do that every year, I think. Um, and then the funniest thing was how good he was on a bad diet. Like in the first few years in the NBA, his diet was basically fast food and soda, like diet Pepsi or something like that. That was he was a fat guy. Like he was literally like a fat guy. No offense to him, but he still played like really well. But this year, because of a shortened off season, because of a pandemic, and because he finally realized that he could be a little bit better not being fat. He became amazing. He was so good this year. And you know what? I think he's going to be really good for years to come. He is one of those guys that makes players on his team so much better. He elevates every single player on this team.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, like you love playing with a guy like that. And that's why, I put him up here because he is someone that makes teams better. It elevates the team to another level. And I can't say anything else about that. That's amazing.
Yeah. Jokic is awesome. He's a unicorn in a league now that's full with unicorns, but he is the ultimate
the ultimate unicorn.
He's he's a point center. Like it's unbelievable. The passing acumen he has as a center. How he's just such a weapon, and the deadliest player. The most lethal player in like the NBA looks like how he looks like. It's just it's just fun, man. It's just fun. I get that. Yeah. All right, and I feel like I kind of already spoiled it because I already crossed him off and we already mentioned him. Number one for me is Klay Thompson.
Wow, number one. Jeez. Okay, go ahead.
So the Raptors game cemented it. That game 6 cemented it. Like, my God. I don't even know why I'm choking up. It's just I saw it live. He was playing his everything out. And then he tore his ACL. And then it was you can see the pain he was in. He was so much pain. And then they're like, no, I have to shoot these free throws. Like I have to shoot it. And I was like, the depths he'll go to win. Like he said some crazy quotes about like the depths he'll go to win. And like that, it was like after that too. It's like wow, it's unbelievable. And of course 3-and-D. When I say defensive guards, I mean we've already talked about Klay Thompson. Like his defense is it's not under radar, under radar, but in a way it kind of is. Like he should get even more defensive, like higher, like instead of third he should get second, or like in second, like in years when he's gotten second he should get first, right? He's always like seated a little lower. I mean of course he always makes these defensive teams. He's so good on defense. And when I think about, of course I talked about earlier when I think about like Chris Paul or Marcus, like playing like a defensive guard, but like what I really want to do is like when I'm playing 3-on-3 on a court, just play like Klay Thompson, man. Is that defense, unbelievable lockdown defense, and just shooting threes. Like you just can't get back. I feel like I'm just so gravitated towards that style of play already, and he's like the embodiment of it. And then combined with like, it's just hard not to root for him. Same way, I mean, it's easier to root for Curry for most people, but I don't know. I just really like Klay Thompson, and I keep thinking this year like what the Warriors could have been if they had Klay with them. Oh my gosh, like I always think about that. It's so yeah, Klay's my number one. And that Raptors game, that game 6, that's what leapfrogged him over Rajon Rondo for me.
That's fair. So what year would you put the Klay Thompson you like?
That year, the 2018-19.
18-19. Okay. All right.
Well, wait, what? Well, we have to cancel him anyways because we both have Klay.
Yeah, I don't know. I had 15, 16 because he had the game 6 against Thunder. But
I mean, if it's the same player, we can't. It doesn't. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Same player.
All right, my number one. It's not on your list, but it's I think it's a little bit obvious. I haven't said his name, but LeBron James.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Captain Obvious.
I mean, we haven't talked about Braun. Reason why is because he is number one. I'll say this: I don't know if I was the biggest fan of LeBron growing up. Like I think as a Lakers fan, I like Kobe a lot better, and Kobe and LeBron had a little bit. It's not really a rivalry; like they were more friendly, I think, but they had a little bit of rivalry, like who was best player in the league. So I didn't like LeBron that much, but once he went to the Heat, and then back to Cleveland, obviously on the Lakers, my affection and my admiration for LeBron grew by a lot. The year I picked for full disclosure would be 2012, LeBron.
So 2012, 2013, or 2011, 2012?
I think wasn't it 2011, 2012, the one that he, wait. Which one was the year that he beat the Celtics in game 6? What was that? Is that 2010, 2011? Am I just totally wrong? But
well, 2010, 2011 is when they lost to the Mavs.
Right.
So I think it might have been 2011, 2012. I'm not sure. That also might have been the year that I was thinking you were going to. Well, I'm not going to tell you. I mean, I feel like there's another year that should be definitely there. But no. Anyways.
No. Well, I think the year when the Heat won their first championship, though, whatever that
year. That's 2011, 2012. All right, we'll put
that year.
So that's final. What? Okay, I'm surprised you didn't choose 2012, 2013.
Well, I think 2011, 2012. I think LeBron actually was at physically his definite peak.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe.
I agree to disagree.
All right, that's fair.
Anyways, continue. Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, that next year LeBron was good for sure. Playing against the Spurs, that's amazing. But LeBron just the guy. If you think about it, he's the greatest player of all time in NBA history. He's still playing, so you never know. Of course, we watched The Last Dance this past summer, and Jordan became that much higher on many people's list. But I think LeBron, if he once his career is all said and done, and he's statistically probably the best player of all time because he has all those stats by the end of his career, counting wise. But championships and legacy wise, he's going to be up there as well. I mean, LeBron might be the greatest player of all time. He's the greatest player of our generation, for sure, because we didn't watch Jordan, so we don't know what it's like. But it's a treat to watch LeBron. He is physical freak in nature. There's no person that's ever built like LeBron. There's he plays volleyball back in the day, when he was so physically dominant, could literally just get that layup and just get that dunk, just absolutely bully everyone else. But he really transformed his game as he got older, and now he's a great shooter. He's a pretty good 3-point shooter now, I'd say. And back in the day when he was just starting out in Cleveland, his first stint, he was really bad at shooting, especially from the 3. So props to him just to really become a guy that's really been such a great player, just to transform his game into something new. I think he played a part in one of the greatest finals I've ever seen, the greatest final I've ever seen, one of the greatest in NBA history. 2016 NBA Finals, beating the 73-win Warriors, coming back with a 3-1 lead, getting that block in Game 7 on Iguodala. I mean, what can you say? There's painful memories for you, but I mean, it was just that was the most memorable finals I've ever seen. That one, and the other one was the 2013 finals when Ray Allen hit the 3 in the corner. those are the two, but
2013, that 2013 finals is something.
that was insane. Yeah.
The Spurs, they're going back and forth every game. Like game 1, game 2 was the Heat, game 3 was the Spurs, back and forth. It's kind of inevitable. As like a kid, you're thinking, oh, so then the Heat win game 6, but then you actually watch game 6 and you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And it felt like inevitable that the Heat would win game 7 then, just because of how, and then like, sure, Ray Allen hit that shot, but LeBron, like game 6, I think, yes, Ray Allen hit that shot, but the way LeBron like carried them back in, like they were down by a lot.
Yeah.
Game 6, and then LeBron just took it on his shoulders, and that doesn't get talked enough. And of course, LeBron missed the 3 before, and then Bosh rebound, Allen, bang.
Yeah. Oh my God. What else can I say? I think, the last thing I would say about LeBron, I think, as a person off the court, you would say he's probably the most powerful person in NBA.
Yeah.
Possibly in NBA history, because nowadays you have more power in the players than ever before. He's done like great stuff. He's he's played for 17 years, never gotten in trouble, always stayed clean. He's a model citizen for any NBA player. Take care of the body, does the right things, says the right things, provides for his community, works hard. I think, for him, to be that long longevity, and then also just being that consistently good, delivering on and off the court. That's why he's my number one.
It's just, of course, as an objective sports fan, if I wasn't a Celtics fan, I could look back and I could look out and say yeah, LeBron James is one of my favorite players to watch. But no, I can't, because as a Celtics fan, he's been on every team. He's been in our way, or he's just been, on the Lakers. It's just never worked out. I'm hoping happens is that Bronny, Celtics get kind of bad, and then Bronny gets like a lottery pick, and we pick Bronny, and then he has to move to the Celtics to be with this kid.
Oh no. We'll see. I want him on.
Unless we can trade Bronny for Anthony Davis, then we'll
okay. Fair enough.
But he's gonna move, and his last team is gonna be whatever team Bronny's on, and that'll be like his last year.
Yeah. Hey, maybe Bronny's on the Lakers. You never know.
Oh God. No team benefits. All right, so your team, I think, is definitely better constructed than my team. Just because you have Jokic, Davis, and LeBron up there, and I have nothing but guards.
I have a ton of guards though, as well.
All right, so I guess we'll run this down. So my team going from Derrick Rose doesn't make it.
Okay. Harden didn't make mine, unfortunately.
Actually, I guess Harden was better than Rose. So that year, Harden's probably better than this year, Rose. Because this is also LeBron could have won the MVP that year and all that. Okay.
Right.
So I got Rondo, Draymond, Marcus Smart, Chris Paul, and Giannis. Who you got?
Solid roster. I got LeBron, Jokic, AD, Damian Lillard, Zack LaVine.
Dude, that's a perfect 1 through 5. You have Dame. So, well, let's reconstruct our team. So my team is going to be kind of hard to do. All right.
I constructed 1 through 5. That's funny.
Gosh. All right, let me figure this out.
Okay, that's okay. As a Lakers fan, I know I don't want to get too greedy, but that's the reason why I've been campaigning in secret for Dame Lillard to come to the Lakers, because he'd be a perfect fit. I mean, just nothing else said. He'd be so good on the Lakers, and I know he's good, and that'd just be it'd be a dream come true. But I understand that he has his commitments in Portland, so it's all good.
Also, Rondo and Chris Paul are not good. They have beef.
It's all good. It's all good.
They have beef. How do I put them on So I have to put Chris Paul at point. There's no way I don't, because Chris Paul is objectively better than Rondo. Does Marcus Smart's at the 3?
It's all good. That's fine.
Because Rondo can't be at the 3. Okay. Jesus. All passing, no shooting. All passing, no shooting. Oh God, your team is so I have 07, 08, 08, Chris Paul at the point. I guess we got 2 point guards. We're running a Michigan style offense. We got 2 point guards. We got Rondo, the shooting guard, I guess, too. We got 09, 010 Rondo. I got 17, 18 Smart, because that was, I think, I just like Smart all the years, but that was when the Celtics did best. So that's kind of when he did best. Giannis, the MVP year last year, and Draymond, the defensive player year. So 16, 17. So Giannis at the 4 and Draymond at the 5, because I don't know, a center that's that small, but I don't want Giannis. Like, Giannis has so much talent that I don't want to waste him at center. Like in a way, like, yes, he's a mobile Shaq, right? He could, maybe I could switch them, because Giannis could play like Shaq if he had to.
Yeah, that's true.
I might just switch them. So
Probably best matchup anyways, yeah.
All right, what about your team, man? So your team, all right, you list it out.
2020, Damian Lillard. 2020, Zach LaVine. I changed 2013. You know, I thought of it. 2013 LeBron. I'll just put that there.
Fine. I thought it was finalized. I thought we were finalizing it, but it's fine. I'm good. That's salty.
Yeah, I should have thought a little more about that one. But 2018 AD, and then 2021 Nikola Jokic.
So,
I mean, Giannis would be pretty dominant inside, actually, because AD, I watched the Bucks and the Lakers last year, yeah, and Giannis kind of did AD a little dirty. Just right now, but.
So on defense, right? CP3, I think, would lock down Lillard. No offense to Lillard, but
Fair enough. Okay.
The CP3 is like great defensively, especially 07, 08, like the prime. Like, I mean, Dave Lillard's also like unguardable, because he can just shoot from the half court if he wants, but you know, who knows? So you got Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
I got Rondo on him.
Yeah, Rondo probably killed him, actually. Yeah.
Well, 09, 010 Rondo was 09, 10 Rondo. He had like career high steals. Like he had a bunch of steals that year too. LeBron, who's covering LeBron?
Marcus Smart. That's actually perfect coverage, because LeBron had problems against Marcus Smart, I think.
2013 LeBron. 2013 LeBron is going to have problems with Marcus Smart. 2013 LeBron has no problems with Marcus Smart, okay? None.
That's fair. That's fair.
Bodied him. Poor guy. No, but I think you also got to think about, like, he's going to go into the paint, right? So you got Lillard, who's your team is set up so, right, Lillard's going to space out, right, offensively. And you have LaVine as LaVine would be a slasher, but he could also just be he could be a shooter, because you can't have him as a dunker, because you already have you have 3 big guys kind of that play that way. LeBron facilitates for sure, but 2013 LeBron is he's a dunker. 2013 LeBron's like a bulldozer. So then I guess Jokic is just going to facilitate from the paint, and then, my gosh, and then AD's there. AD's just like the weapon. He's just like, you just use him however you want to use AD.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I can do defense. Like Draymond, sure, I have all of these guys are pretty much like defensive player of the year material that I have on my team. But so Giannis would they just guard the post, and then you would just hope that Rondo and Smart could guard the perimeter? Like, switching would be a problem, especially with the way Jokic is able to pass. Like,
That's true.
You just gotta hope. You just gotta hope that Draymond. I think Draymond would have to cover LeBron. And then Giannis would just have to be good enough in the post to like interfere with Jokic. You just have to hope one-on-one Jokic, Giannis can win that defensive battle.
That's probably possible, I'd say.
But your team definitely has the edge offensively over my team.
Yeah, I was gonna say I worry about your team offensively because it's just gonna be Giannis basically. Well, you got a few other players like
my team. So my team offensively, right? So Chris Paul, he can shoot if he's sometimes, but inconsistent. Well, not inconsistent. He can shoot, but of course he ain't no Dame. Smart can shoot, but he's kind of inconsistent. I don't have that much spacing, so it's gonna be a bunch of passing, and then you're just gonna have to find. But the only guy who can like really score, I guess it's Chris Paul and Giannis.
and I can build a wall for Giannis and then limit his abilities.
So you're just gonna have to. You're just forcing Marcus Smart to shoot weird threes.
There you go.
Jeez, this is gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be a blowout, man. See, if I had Derrick Rose instead of Rondo, it would be so much easier because I could just put Rondo at the. I could put Rose at the 2, and he'd be a slasher like the same way. And then he could be a scorer. But no, I put Rondo because I'm a man of my word. And okay. Rondo's I like Rondo more than Rose just because his dude.
Fair enough.
So there you have it. Let us know what team. Let us know what team you prefer. You got Franklin's team with Dame, Zack, LaVine. Well, Dame, so 2020 Dame, right? So 2019, 2020 Dame.
Yep.
2019, 2020 Zack, LaVine. 2012, 2013 LeBron. What year for AD?
17, 18.
17, 18 for AD. And then Jokic this year, the MVP year.
Yep.
Or do you like my team with Chris Paul, 07, 08? Could have won MVP if it weren't for Kobe being Kobe. Rondo, 09, 10. Discount Chris Paul, but for a Celtics team that was so close to winning it and defensively had a great game plan for limiting Kobe. Just meta world peace had to come out of nowhere that series. Marcus Smart, 17, 18. Whatever. Giannis, 19, 20, MVP year. And Draymond Green, 16, 17, defensive player of the year. All right, let us know. And all right, well, I think that should be it. It's been one hell of a day with technical difficulties and just cutting all that jazz. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely, I won't be able to. It's gonna be like a week and a bit for next time we record. So letting you guys know.
All right. Catch you guys next time.
Yep.